Hey guys, this tutorial was recorded some time ago, but I've never got around to edit and upload it. So I just decided to do a quick voiceover and publish it for you. And this tutorial is about Frustum Culling with geometry nodes. The setup is super performant because it doesn't use raycast or similar methods. Instead, it uses the camera info node and some clever matrix manipulation to create so-called normalized device coordinates, which we then use to create our Frustum Culling mask. Frustum Culling in geometry nodes might be useful if you create a lot of instances or a big point cloud in your geometry node, or you have an object that consists of millions of vertices and you want to cull the vertices that are outside of the camera's frustum. There is a built-in option to do frustum culling, but this option only works on individual objects and not on vertices or in geometry node modifiers. So let's dive into this. Let's start with a fresh new Blender file. The first thing we do is we open up the geometry node editor. And instead of working with a default cube, I take a mesh plane, I scale it up by 100, and then I subdivide it, give it a fairly high subdivision. So I put 500 in here. And next I toggle the viewport display for the wireframe on, so we can see the wireframe all the time. Next, I look through my camera. And now I choose a more interesting perspective, move it further away and also angle it a little bit. That's okay. And now the interesting part. So I select the plane object and I add geometry nodes to it. Okay, so the first thing we need is the object coordinate of our object. So we can get this with the position node. If I now take a viewing node and plug the position in here, we can see these coordinates appear. And these are object coordinates, so they are relative to the object. So if I move the object around, you can see that the coordinates move with it. They also rotate and scale with it. So let me name this object coordinates. And we need these coordinates to create our view space coordinates. And view space coordinates are coordinates for each of these vertices or points of our mesh relative to the camera. And we can create these view space coordinates with the viewing matrix of our camera. And to create this view matrix, we need the active camera and an object info node. And here I need to set this to relative. And next we need to invert the transform output here with the invert matrix node. And this here is our view matrix. Okay, so now the only thing that's left to do is to create a transform point node. And here we transform our object coordinates by the viewing matrix. And if I plug this in here, we can see these coordinates here appear. And these are relative to the camera. So if I move the object around or I rotate this or scale it, they stay constant. So let me name this view space coordinates. To create the normalized device coordinates, we actually need to take the depth out of the calculation. So we don't need the distance of each vertex to the camera. And for this, we need to transform our view space by the projection matrix. Oh, there's a little spelling error in here. Let me fix it real quick. Okay, so now we need the projection matrix and we can access it with the camera info node. And here I copy the active camera, plug it in here. Then I put a frame around this. Okay, so now we transform this by the projection matrix. but we need to do the perspective division first. So take the depth or the distance out of our coordinates. And we can do this in one step with the project point node. So let me grab the project point node. Oh, wrong node. And here I plug this in and I take the projection matrix. And now we can have a look at this. And these are our normalized device coordinates. So they go from -1 to 1 in X and Y direction. So let me first quickly rename this. So I name this NDC, short for normalized device coordinates. And to have a better look at the coordinates, I take a separate X, Y, and Z node. And here I can view each axis individually. So this is our X, and here we have the Y coordinate. And now you can imagine with this we can create really simple, really nice mask. So if I take a math node, for example, and here I change this to less than, plug this in here. Yeah, we can create a really nice mask. And to make this more simple, let me copy this and set it to absolute. And now if I have a look at this, you can see that we turned our coordinates into positive values. So at the bottom it is -1 and at the top it is +1. So with absolute it is +1, 0 in the middle and +1 at the top. So it looks like this. And with the less than node, yeah, we can create this really nice mask. So to do the masking on both axes, we can do it more elegant with the vector math node. So I create the vector math node and here I set it to absolute for both of our axes. I plug this in here. I don't need this anymore. And now we simply take another math node, set it to maximum, and this creates this mask here. And if we finally take a compare node and then we set it to less than, we can create this really nice mask here. So I can call this right here our Frustum mask. And I can use this, for example, to delete every vertex that is out of the camera's frustum. So yeah, let's do this really quick. I create a delete geometry node. And if I plug this in here, you can see that all of our vertices inside of the frustum gets deleted, and that's not what we want. We want exactly the opposite. So we need to invert this mask. I could simply set this to greater than, but I'd like to keep it more logical. So everything that is inside of the camera is set to 1, so true, and everything that is outside of it is set to 0, so not true. And yeah, we can simply invert this with a Boolean math node that is set to not. So I grab this here. Okay. So now I can grab my camera, move around, and yeah, so you can see that the Frustum Culling adapts to it. So I can rotate it. Yeah, and it's really performant. And here we can set also the threshold. So I can give it a little tolerance. And now there's only one problem. If I take the camera and move it so that our ground plane is behind our camera, you can see that it doesn't look right And to fix this, we need to detect if the vertex we want to cull is in front of the camera. And this is fairly simple. So let's go in our geometry node tree. And if you can remember, our view space coordinates also store the depth or the distance of the vertex to our camera. And this is in our z coordinate. So if I take a separate x, y, and z node, and then I take the view space coordinates, we can simply use a less than node. We can copy this node here, plug this in here, and then simply set this to 0. And this gives us a mask that shows if an object is behind of our camera. So if I move the camera here, you can see what happens. Okay, so now the only thing that's left to do is to combine these masks, and we can do this with another Boolean math node that is set to end. Okay, that works. And here I'll first name this is in front of camera. And this combines our two masks. And remember, we have to invert this mask with our not Boolean math node. And then this is our result. So if I now move the camera so that the object is behind it, you can see that it disappears and works. Okay, so that's the whole setup. I hope you find this tutorial useful. Maybe leave a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.